Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of NISM, I extend a warm welcome to all the participants for joining today's webinar on career opportunities in the securities market. It is an honor to introduce our speaker, Mr. Sanjeev Bajaj, General Manager, NISM, leading the Partnership and Marketing Department since June 2022. He, instrument, he is instrumental in forging partnerships with higher education institutions, driving student acquisition, and overseeing the branding and marketing of NISM programs. Now, I would like to request Sir to begin the session.
So thank you, Preeti, for the introduction, and I welcome all the participants today for this particular webinar on exploring opportunities and building your expertise. So, as you all are aware that NISM is a institution promoted by SEBI, and SEBI is the regulator for Indian securities market, and we work with the industry participants to improve the quality of education and quality of uh, offerings for the securities market. We play a very pivotal role in improving the standards of securities market with our offerings, and we are equipping future professionals with essential knowledge and skills. With our various certifications and e-learning programs, apart from that, we also offer long-term and short-term programs, trainings, etc. So all these are targeted towards making people ready for the industry. Today, we have organized this particular webinar in order to help the people understand that what are the career and both employment and entrepreneurial opportunity for participants in this particular market, which is a very fast growing market, and it is for last couple of decades, it is growing very fast, and post COVID, the growth has been phenomenal. So, why we are here today? Because you want to understand the vast career landscape in the Indian finance and how NISM can be your guide. So, let me uh, move with the objectives of the webinar. So, what you will gain today, first, you will discover the career path in India's booming securities market. We'll try to explain you the essential skills and qualification the employers look for in the candidates. We'll also tell you in brief about NISM certification and how these can accelerate your career journey. So why you should consider securities market? I'm sure you know what are the securities market. Securities market is a subdomain of our total financial markets. The businesses need capital, and for capital, we have multiple intermediaries and regulators working together to create capital for the industry. And in this entire field, we have multiple organizations like banks, insurance companies, mutual funds, and broking houses, etc. So this field of securities market is growing very fast. And it is a very dynamic and fast-paced sector. It has huge impact in terms of creating wealth for the public. It is rewarding because it has helped people build wealth, those who have remained invested, and people, those who are looking for opportunities, and those who have been here in this particular market, they have earned their reward with this. And there is a huge potential for innovation. We have seen how the financial services business adopted to new technologies and regular innovations, and that leads to multiple opportunities for the people, those who are working in this particular domain and or planning to work in this domain. Just to give you an idea that how securities market have grown, I just wanted to show you some figures. Like in last decade, the markets have Indian securities market have grown exponentially. You can see a small some data I'm presenting here. The in last decade, the market value of the listed companies have increased by more than threefold. As of June 2025, the total market capitalization of the companies listed on NSE and BSE has crossed 5.5 trillion US dollar, which is phenomenal. Similarly, we have seen that the demat accounts after COVID have grown more than 4.5 times, right? Pre-COVID in March 2020, we had close to 4.1 crore accounts. And it was last reported in June 2025 that the number of demat accounts has crossed over 19 crore. The purpose of this data is to tell you that how fast these markets are growing. 4.5 times growth in demat accounts means that more and more people have shown their trust with the securities market, and they're putting their money in the growth of the country, right? And they have trust in this market, and that is why they are here. Similarly, if you look at the growth of mutual funds, it is supported by the boom of SIPs. As of April 2014, the total assets under management (AUM) for both equity and debt funds was close to 9.45 lakh crores, which has grown to 74.78 lakh crore in by June 2025. You can see that it is more than 8 times in last 11 years almost, right? So this growth has been phenomenal. Similarly, if you look at that, in last a decade, the foreign portfolio investment in India have grown by 400%, right? That is almost 4 times of the growth in the FPI investment. This all data suggests that the party has just begun. And in last 10 years, the way markets have grown, and with more and more participation coming from youngsters and younger generation, this market is going to boom further. Another data which shows that only 7 to 7.5% of the total population has so far been invested in the securities market. Imagine, even if 1% of the population shifts towards the securities market, they start putting their savings into investment markets in the securities market, how much money will flow in this particular sector, right? If people start shifting from traditional products to modern products, then the market growth will further increase. So because of this, we all are here today to understand that what is there for us in this securities market. So as of you all know, I'm sure you must be knowing that what are securities. So as we call securities are various instruments which are generally transferable and can be traded, right? So these are equity shares. This is the ownership instrument. Then we have debt instruments like bonds and debentures. These are the instruments which create a borrower and lender relationship between the between the organized that borrowing entity and the lender and the general public, right? Then we have instruments like derivatives. These are the instruments which are created by an underlying assets. In short, we call futures and options, which are very popular. And Indian market has seen phenomenal growth in the derivatives market, and where youngsters have put in a lot of money without even realizing that this market is very dynamic, and they can lose money by not having understood the markets. Then we also have mutual funds, which are professionally managed, and these are called indirect investment tools for pooling in the investors' money. Before we plan that I want to get into this particular market as an employer or an employee, we need to understand the structure of the market. So wherever we have the public invested, or wherever we have a market, we always have a regulator. So in India's financial markets, we have multiple regulators. We have Reserve Bank of India, we have IRDAI, we have PFRDA, and we have SEBI. So each regulator has its own specific area to cover. And in India, the regulators are not only regulating the market, but rather they are working toward the development and growth of the markets also. So the securities market in India are regulated by SEBI, which is Securities and Exchange Board of India. The regulator here ensures fairness and transparency in the market. it tries to keep the regulations in such a way so that there is a regular growth of the market and investors are protected. Then on the second part, so when we are talking about market structure, so on one hand we have regulators, then on the other hand we have market infrastructure institutions. So there are multiple intermediaries and there are multiple market infrastructure institutions like stock exchanges. So we have very popular stock exchanges, and I'm sure you all know about National Stock Exchange and Bombay Stock Exchange. BSE is one of the oldest stock exchanges in the world, and NSE is one of the most technologically advanced stock exchange in the world, right? Then, on the other hand, we have other infrastructure institutions like NSDL and CDSL. These are depositories which hold our securities in soft format or dematerialized format. Apart from these, we have other intermediaries like broking houses, which are brokers. These are members of stock exchanges, and they facilitate transactions in various instruments like we have in the last screen we have seen there are shares, bonds, etc. So these broking houses help us in transacting these instruments. Then we have investment banks which help the organization in raising capital. They help in IPOs and FPOs. They advise their clients on mergers, acquisitions, and various other things. So investment bankers, and we know that a lot of students, they get attracted and they say that they want to become investment bankers in future. So this is one area which offers a lot of opportunities and potential for growth for the students. By right kind of a knowledge, they can get into this field with the growing investment bankers in the country. On the other hand, we have asset management companies. These are, in short, also known as mutual funds. So asset management companies float the various schemes for pooled investment where retail investors can invest their money, and they can avail the services of professional fund management from these asset management companies. They manage funds and portfolios of the people. Then we have rating agencies. These rating agencies help in credit rating of various instruments. And with this rating, people can understand that how risky these instruments are for their investment. And based on their risk profile, they can decide whether they want to invest in these instruments or not. For various types of instruments, rating is mandatory in few cases, right? And we have agencies like CRISIL and ICRA to name a few. Right, as of June, we have close to 52 mutual funds. If you want to see the number of intermediaries, what all intermediaries are there, the best source is the website of SEBI, because all intermediaries which are operating in the securities market, they must get registered with SEBI. And to understand that what all types of intermediaries are there, we can go to SEBI website, and there we have a section called Intermediaries and Market Infrastructure Institution. And you can find a list of all the intermediaries there. So these are just a few names which I have mentioned here. There is a big list, around 37 types of intermediaries which are there given by on the SEBI website. Now, what are the options for people, those who want to work in the securities market? There are multiple career opportunities in the securities market. To understand this, first of all, we need to understand that what all there is for the students or for professionals, those who want to work or make a career in this area. So I have planned, designed some career pathways here for people. So one of them is like research analyst. These research analysts, they analyze companies and industries and economies to provide investment recommendations. These research analysts have an in-depth knowledge and understanding of the various organizations, economy, etc. And based on their knowledge, based on the reports published by various entities, And based on the data available about the companies, industries, and economy, they provide recommendations for buying and selling of the various instruments in this particular area, right? So anybody who is looking to make a career in a research analyst, as a research analyst in the field of research analysis, must have various skills like a strong analytical mind. They should know about financial modeling. They should know about report writing. They should have basic understanding of economics. They should have good number crunching ability to have a logical mindset, and they can prepare reports on various companies and economy, and they can suggest their clients about buying and selling. They can also have their recommendations for various other instruments. On the second side, we have portfolio managers and fund managers. These are the people, those who manage the schemes and funds of either the mutual funds or alternative investment funds, or they work as a portfolio manager for their clients, right? These people, to have a good in-depth knowledge about market, they should understand how to manage risk. They should have a very strategic and analytical mindset, and they should know about various compliance related matters also, in order to work as a portfolio manager. Very large section of society needs investment advisors, because in India is still the investment advisory is at a very nascent stage. Uh, if you look at the number of registered investment advisors with the SEBI, uh, the numbers are very minuscule. And with the fast growing economy and a higher disposable income in the hands of the investors, there is a big demand or need for investment advisors and wealth managers in days to come. So this area of this profession is growing very fast, and India needs large number of investment advisors and wealth managers, so that these funds can be professionally managed. As of now, in India, we see that the people do not go for professional advice for managing their funds, which is a very wrong kind of a notion, because if I do not, if I myself is not able to manage my funds, I do not have knowledge, then it is best advised that we should take the expert help in managing our own funds and planning our wealth. So this profession is growing very fast in India, and this offers both employment and entrepreneurial opportunity for people, those who are considering coming into securities market. They shall look for skills required for becoming a investment advisor or wealth managers. You have to have a very good communication skills. You have to build trust with your clients. You should understand what financial planning is, and you should also understand the needs of the clients if you want to get into this particular field, right? So I'm repeating, a good communication, both verbal and written. You should have good knowledge about financial planning. You should understand the needs of the clients so that you can help them manage their funds. The second career pathway is in the field of trading and brokerages. So there are equity and derivative dealers and traders required at the broking houses. You can also become an associated person with the broking houses. So this offers you both employment and entrepreneurial opportunity in the field of dealing and trading in the instruments. So these people execute buy and sell orders on behalf of the clients or for the firm's own account. So basically, they are in the action field, you can say, and on a daily basis, they on working days, they execute orders on behalf of the clients and participate in the trades, right? They again have to have a very good uh, decision-making skills. They should be aware about the market, and they should understand the various risks associated with all these transactions. They have to work with a high level of trust and confidence with the client. A very small mistake can lead to massive losses. So they have to be very alert while making any transaction or trade on behalf of the client. And any small error can lead to a big issue. So they have to be very alert all the times when they are they are sitting on the terminals. The next part in this is the client servicing and relationship management. So this is one area where a lot of people are required in the industry, because maintaining relationship with the client so that they trust us, they trust the organization, and they, because they're pulling in their money for the growth, then the entire onus is on the client servicing and relationship manager to build that trust and confidence in the organization, right? So they have to work with the clients, they have to bring in new clients, they have to offer more and more services to the clients. They need to check with the clients whether they are happy or not, and if they have any queries, these people have to address those client queries, right? Again, this particular domain requires excellent communication skills, both in English as well as the language which your client understands. They have to have a good personal skills, and they should have a problem solving attitude and a mindset, right? With these skills, people can excel in the client servicing and relationship management profession. Again, this is a very fast paced world, and more people are required in this client servicing and relationship management profession. A lot of people don't want to work on the front end, rather they want to work at the back end. So a lot of operations executives are hired by various intermediaries. We generally call it as a back office. In any organization, if you go, you will find that there are generally three types of offices: front office, mid office, and back office. So on the front office, we have client servicing and relationship managers. In the mid office, we have dealers and traders, and we have operations executives in the back office. So back office people generally ensure smooth settlement of trades, record keeping, and reconciliation. Their job is very important for managing and record keeping. They have to be very meticulous in their job. They have to be very well organized. They should have attention to details, and they should be very process oriented. Then the third career pathway for people is the risk compliance and the future. So in risk management, the third category, which is very prominent, is the risk management. They need to identify, assess, and mitigate the financial risk associated with any instrument or the segment. So they look into the market risk, credit risk, operational risk, and they work with the management team to find out and identify and take action so that this risk can be reduced. These people should have the analytical skills. They should have good statistical understanding. They should be having knowledge of financial modeling and good at observations. They need to have a broader view of the whole thing, right? And they need to have a very futuristic mindset in order to understand what kind of risk can come and how they can be mitigated. Then whenever where we are dealing with the law and regulations, there have to be people, those who meet the compliance. So in all these intermediaries, there would be people, those who will be referred to as compliance officers. They have to ensure that all the regulations and rules are followed in totality and in actual word and spirit. So these compliance officers, they ensure that all the norms and regulations are fulfilled, and every organization can have multiple compliance officers depending upon different functions which the organization has, right? There could be different sizes of teams in compliance division for every organization. right? So right from we can have a chief compliance officer to the compliance executives. There could be multiple level of people in each organization taking care of the compliance. So they have to adhere to all the regulatory laws and policies of the organization. Again, they have to have excellent communication, interpersonal skills, problem solving. They must understand the regulations and laws, and they also understand the policies of the organization as well. So their job, as we understand, they have to comply by the norms and regulations of the organization. Now, apart from that, since this is a very dynamic field, a lot of changes are happening, and there are multiple roles which have emerged with the change in the technology, with the change in the requirement nationally and internationally. So we can see that there are people, those who are specialists in technology, and we call them a new category of roles, which is called a fintech specialist. So they look into artificial intelligence, blockchain, data analytics, etc. So all these technological applications of financial services are in short referred to as fintech. So we need people in various applications, right? And how these people can simplify the processes, ensure security and safety of data, financial transactions, and come up with new technological applications so that the entire investment process becomes simplified. Compliance can be, met easily. So these people, those who specialize in technology for the financial services, are called fintech specialists. Then we have ESG analysts, those who take care of environmental, social, and governance factors in any investment decisions, right? So there is another category which is coming up very fast, is known as ESG analyst. So they, because gradually we have seen that people are more concerned about not only the profit, but about the social aspects, about the environmental aspects, and governance has always been a challenge. So there is a lot more focus on having proper governance in the organization. So this particular domain is also increasing with the opportunities coming up a lot more. Then there are various niche categories where people can look for job. These are the areas where not much has been discussed, and there is a little less awareness. So with the number of mutual funds and portfolio managers growing, this area of fund accounting is growing. So we need specialist people to manage the fund accounting at the various mutual funds and portfolio managers. So they provide a backbone to mutual funds, AIFs, and PMS. They calculate the net asset value of a fund on a daily basis after ensuring all expenses and other regulatory requirements, and they have to ensure compliance. So these fund accountants are growing in numbers because more and more mutual funds are coming up, more and more asset management companies are coming up, alternative investment funds are coming up, and portfolio managers are coming up. So this area of service is growing, and they require a little bit of a specialized knowledge. Apart from not only the accounting fundamentals, they have to have analytical, statistical, and regulatory knowledge to do these calculations of fund accounting, right? Another area which is growing, because whenever there is money is involved, frauds do happen, because there is a mindset of people, those who want to earn money in a very short period of time, or they sometimes don't even hesitate to commit fraud in order to make some quick money. Now, these financial frauds are increasing day by day. Hence, this particular area of financial fraud investigation is also seeing a lot of demand. People with knowledge of and very analytical and eye for detail are required to find out where these and how these financial frauds are committed, and if these are committed, how to investigate those. So investigating suspicious transactions, market manipulation, insider trading, money laundering. So these are the some areas where we need more and more specialized people, those who can prevent financial frauds and help in, if the frauds are committed, they can help in investigation of these financial frauds. So they have to have very strong investigative and analytical skills. They have to have knowledge of financial laws, regulations, and they have to have understanding of compliance. So this area is growing very fast, and with all the financial regulators putting in uh, norms in place, we need more and more people in financial fraud investigation. All the regulators like RBI, PFRDA, and IRDAI, along with SEBI, they have set up norms for KYC and anti-money laundering, and these norms help us in identifying money laundering cases, or finding that the investors are genuine, and these are not the ill-earned money which is flowing into the markets or getting invested. So this particular area is growing very fast, and a lot of specialized people are required in this area. Apart from these two niche areas, there are many other specialized fields or roles which have come up recently because of the technological advancement. One of them is algorithmic trading, and what we call as a uh, quant trading, right? So algorithmic trading is becoming very much in demand, and a lot of trades happen on a daily basis by uh, algorithmic software based trading, what we call. And in this field, we need people, those who can do research, those who can develop algorithms and can understand algorithm. So we need people with technological expertise, software skills to develop algorithms for trading and monitoring also, because recent some of the recent cases have put a lot of alert that these systems can manipulate the entire process, and there has to be a control on that, or there has to be proper systems in place. So this area is growing very fast, and we need more and more expert in this area. Then we need people in financial product development, because now people need better returns. People look for lesser risk and higher return always. And plain vanilla products are no more liked. So we need more and more people, those who have understanding of financial services, and they can come up with new financial products. Like we started with simple, maybe normal shares, then and then normal bonds, then they culminated into, I'm talking about a few decades back, like then the bonds got converted into we came up with the convertible bonds, and partially convertible bonds, fully convertible bonds, and so on and whatnot. So similarly, we need more and more products. Like we had insurance policies, then they came up with the unit linked insurance policy. So every day people need new financial products, so that more and more people can come into this particular investment world. They can take advantage of new financial products and put in their savings with much more confidence, right? So we need, then we have seen too many changes in derivative instruments happening, right? And new derivatives are being designed. So this financial product development is also a domain where we can see a lot of growth. Then with the technology, we have a need for data science experts and analytics in finance. So with more and more data and faster technology available, people with the data analytic skills are required to manage the large amount of data and advise the client based on analysis of this data. Then as we said that compliance and regulations are increasing, and with multiple regulators in place, the challenge is much more for all intermediaries to manage the compliance and regulations. Hence, regulatory technology is becoming very advanced, and people are required as a specialist to manage the regulatory technology, so that without much of human intervention, these regulations and compliance can be managed for different regulators or different regulations which an organization has to face. You can understand that we have multiple compliance to be met, like any company which is there. So they have a requirement to meet the regulations of as per Companies Act. Ministry of Corporate Affairs has to be there. Then you have tax laws in place. So a person has to understand the regulatory requirement from taxation angle. If the company is working in financial services, then there could be multiple regulators. Those could be having control over the organization. So they have to meet the RBI regulations, they have to meet the SEBI regulations and all. So all these regulatory and compliance issues can be managed, can be handled through technology. So this particular domain of regulatory technology is also becoming important for people to grow. So as we discuss these various career opportunities available, what are the key skills, right? So you can see there is a common skill which is required as analytical and problem solving mindset, right? A person who wants to work in the financial services domain has to have a very analytical mind and has to have a problem solving attitude, because when you are dealing with clients, unless and until you are providing them a solution, they'll not be happy with you, right? And you have to understand that what kind of problems they may face. So you need an analytical mindset and you have to provide solutions to them. Since you are dealing in money, so you have to have a quantitative aptitude. And though you have computers, calculators, and softwares available at your disposal, but you should be having a quick, number crunching ability, and you should be able to understand numbers very fast, right? Unless and until you have that quick quantitative aptitude, it will be very difficult for you to, grow in your career. The next is the communication and presentation skills. You have to have good communication and presentation skills if you are working as a research analyst, or as you are working at the as a customer relationship manager, or you are working on the front end, because your presentation is the key, right? And if you are not able to communicate in the language which your client understands, you'll be facing a lot of challenges, right? Simultaneously, you have to understand the communication language of your regulators also, from the compliance point of view. So not only you may be good at one language in communication, but unless and until you can communicate, if you are having at the customer facing roles, so then you must have understanding of the client's language, and you must also understand the language which your regulator and the compliance requirements are there, right? You should have attention to detail and accuracy. In financial services, we cannot just say कि अरे छोटा सा तो गलती हो गया, right? This cannot be accepted. अरे this is a very small error, or there is a very small mistake. This attitude is not acceptable. You have to have accurate, and you should be having attention to detail whenever you are working in the financial services domain, because a very small mistake can lead to big losses, right? And you have to be very fast and attentive. Okay. You should be very adaptable and in the continuous learning mode. As I said, that this is a very fast growing and a very fast paced world. You have to be very adaptable, and you should be learning new things continuously, because technology is changing, regulations are changing, and the markets are changing. So unless and until you are adaptable and you are a continuous learner, you will be soon out of the market. So if you want to grow with the markets, if you want to create a niche for yourself, you have to have these skills. Then the most important part of this particular profession is the ethical conduct and integrity. You should be having a very high level of integrity. You should be having very high level of ethical conduct, and trust, because you are going to manage the money of others, right? So if you are not able to create trust, nobody would be giving their money to you to manage, right? With a with a low level of trust, you cannot work in this particular industry. So ethics, good conduct, integrity, and trust is to be built with your clients, right? So you cannot compromise on this particular area. Now, if you want to make a career in this field, what is required? NISM is your gateway to the market, as we say. With NISM at your help, you can grow, you can learn, and you can work in this industry. So NISM offers multiple opportunities to you to participate in this India's future of securities market industry. NISM offers multiple certifications. NISM offers multiple e-learning programs. We offer short-term training. We offer long-term programs. So you can refer to nism.ac.in to know more about the organization. What we offer is the first mandatory qualification as NISM recognized, industry recognized certification and mandated by SEBI. So NISM offers around 33 certifications, out of which close to 18 are mandatory qualification. That means when we say mandatory qualification, that means you have to obtain that particular qualification or that particular certification in order to get into a certain role. I'm just giving you an example. Like if you want to operate, work with a broking house as a dealer or a trader, then you have to obtain NISM certification. If you want to become a mutual fund distributor, then you have to obtain NISM certification. If you want to become a portfolio manager, then also you have to obtain a NISM certification. So you want to work as a research analyst, you have to get NISM certification. So there are multiple certification which are required on the basis of the role you are looking for. So NISM offers you industry recognized certifications. Many of them are mandatory qualification. These offer you academic knowledge and are designed with the industry requirements in mind. They improve your employability, and these demonstrate knowledge and professional competence, right? So with the NISM certification, you can increase your competence in the field, right? So NISM, as I mentioned, offers multiple certifications. You should have minimum PAN card to register for NISM certifications. I have listed only a few NISM certifications here, which are just to let you know that these are various certifications, but you can refer to NISM website for the complete list of certifications. Based on your interest and requirement, you can select these certifications. The best part is that all the NISM, I'll show you later on, all these NISM certifications are available at a very reasonable price. You can download all the study materials free of cost without any charges, and you can learn from these workbooks. Once you have learned from these workbooks, you can practice through the mock test. And once you are confident and you want to write the exam, you can register yourself, write the exam, and obtain the certificate if you clear the minimum marks required. Then NISM offers you upskilling opportunity with the various skill development modules and e-learning programs. So these skill development modules are designed with keeping in mind various industry requirements, and these offer you a opportunity to understand the basics of that particular domain. I have just listed here a couple of those modules, like alternative investment funds, investor education, mutual fund basics, fixed income securities. These are few skill development module. After this, I'll show you these different offerings of NISM through the website. Similarly, we also offer you upskilling opportunity through our e-learning programs. these e-learning programs are offering you expert knowledge on various domains, which we discussed, like we were talking about financial fraud investigation. So we have courses designed with experts like E&Y for forensic investigation. So for this particular course, our knowledge partner is E&Y. Then we have courses on anti-money laundering, which will offer you, we have multiple courses on anti-money laundering, which offer you expertise in this particular area, depending upon which particular financial services do you work, like if you are a chartered accountant, or if you are uh, person working in the insurance domain, or you are simply looking for understanding KYC and AML norms. So what kind of profession you are into in financial services, accordingly, you can choose one of the anti-money laundering courses. Then we have partnered with CRISIL to offer you multiple courses on wealth management and credit rating, uh, credit analysis, etc. We have designed courses in equity derivatives, right? So these are the courses which offer you various e-learning courses, which offer you opportunity to upskill yourself, right? And you can take these courses for your futuristic learning. So I'm open to questions now. I'll stop sharing my screen. If you have questions, you can type in. Preeti, you can take the questions from the chat. Preeti.
Okay, sir. So, question is, what are the career opportunities for recent law graduates at SEBI?
At SEBI.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a very niche question, and for a particular regulator. So regulators hire law experts, not only SEBI, but other regulators also hire the law experts. So you can visit SEBI website for various hiring they have done in the past, and you can read the job description there. So they need people with expertise in investment and regulations, apart from company law and other norms. So this area is there are regularly they hire the law professionals. So I would suggest that visit sebi.gov.in and refer to the previous opportunities by the regulator, so that you can understand what kind of what kind of opportunities are available with SEBI.
So, next question is for investment advisor, wealth manager, which course is to be done? I am NISM certified retirement advisor.
Okay, so you can do courses on financial planning, and NISM offers e-learning program, as well as NISM offers certifications on investment advisory. So we have certifications like 10A, 10B, and we have also courses on financial planning and wealth management in e-learning mode. So you can take these courses. Let me share my screen again to show you the courses which are available with NISM. So is my screen visible, Preeti?
Yes, sir.
So you can see here in courses, we have multiple courses available in the e-learning format. And people, those who want to become, mm, learn more about investment advisory, we have multiple courses on financial planning. You can check here, we have financial planning basic, we have financial planning advanced, right? So that will help you in understanding mm, working as an investment advisor, what are the client requirements, and then you can also do a course, online course on with NISM and CRISIL, which is Certified Wealth Manager, right? So these are the courses which will help you understand the financial planning domain, right? And apart from that, you can also do NISM certifications, right? So these are the things which can help you in becoming an investment advisor.
So, what's the difference between SEBI registered and NISM certified?
So NISM certified, that means anybody who has taken a certificate examination from NISM would be called a NISM certified person. So if like I have taken a couple of certification from NISM, but I'm not registered with SEBI for practicing that profession, right? So I may be a NISM certified because I have obtained a certificate from NISM, but I have not registered myself with SEBI to practice that particular profession. Okay, so there is a difference between, so say for example, I obtain a research analyst certification, and then I fulfill the compliance requirement to register myself as a research analyst, then I'll be called registered with SEBI, right? But otherwise, I am only NISM certified.
So one more question. How can an engineer without a financial background become an equity research analyst?
An engineer has an advantage of good number crunching ability, but without financial knowledge, I don't think that you will be able to do the justice to the profession you are looking at. So the person will have to have the knowledge of the financial products and services if you want to get into that particular domain, right? Preeti, can you repeat the question?
Just a minute, sir.
As
How
I
can an engineer without financial background become an equity research analyst? What
right.
basic education or courses are required?
So, if you want to become a equity research analyst, then you have to have the knowledge of economy, you have to have knowledge of industry and financial instruments, right? You may not have a background because of your past academic knowledge or past academic background, but still, it is not late to get into that by obtaining qualification in or maybe getting knowledge of larger economy and financial services, you can get into this particular area. You can do certifications from NISM to get into this particular domain. Yes. Any other question, Preeti?
So, what is the role of SEBI in regulating margin trading?
So, SEBI's role in margin trading, this is related to something which is out of the scope of this particular webinar, right? We are talking about opportunities, career opportunities, and employment opportunities, and such things. So I would not take this question because this is out of the purview of this particular webinar.
Okay, sir. An MBA student, an MBA in finance, and he wants to be a fund manager.
Okay.
So, what are the career pathways?
So to become a fund manager, this is a very long journey. If I have to tell, as a student, you have to gain the knowledge, you have to add multiple qualifications and start at the very entry level in an organization to understand that how funds are being managed. You can assist a fund manager with because of your qualification, obtain an ISM certification on PMS, showcase your ability by managing smaller funds of your own, and then later on, if you are able to add more qualification, which because this is an area where very high skills are required. So and it's a long journey to become a portfolio manager and cannot be done in a shortcut. So you have to first get the qualification, right qualification. MBA finance would not only be sufficient, you have to add more skills and qualification into that. An ISM PMS certification can help in that. Portfolio management services certification can help you in that.
I am currently pursuing the BFSI course from TIS. I would like your guidance on which course I should consider after graduation to enhance my career prospects in financial sector. Could you please suggest suitable options?
Can you repeat, Preeti? BFSI course from TIS.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So if this is an undergraduate course, then you have to add further degree, because undergraduate, you may work at the roles which are mostly customer facing, right? Or maybe back office operations job, or even you can work as a dealer or a trader at the broking houses. But for that, you have to have a couple of NISM certification in any of these roles if you want to get into. Further, you can add a PG degree to your qualification in financial services, right? You can do an MBA finance, or you can do MBA marketing and earn couple of certifications. Like if you want to go into distribution, you can add an ISM 5A certification. If you want to work in a mid office, apart from your PG qualification, you can earn an ISM 8 and an ISM SORM certification. If you want to work with a in the back office, you can add a RTA certification to your qualification and look into this, right? So these are the few options for you as you want to grow.
So, what are the most important, most valuable certifications from NISM?
So all NISM certifications are valuable because I cannot say this is like saying whether I should have X or Y or Z. So there is no or, because for us, all certifications are important and they are meant for different roles. So saying that this certification is more valuable and that certificate is less valuable would be not a good thing for us to tell. Based on your career aspirations and role you want to get into, you have to decide that which suitable NISM certification you should take. So I'm taking here one question, sir. What, after getting NISM certification, what do you recommend to do? So one should depends upon what NISM certification you have taken and what was the objective of yours by taking that NISM certification. So as I just told by answering the previous question, that if you are obtaining say NISM 5A certification, the next thing which you can do is to work with a bank or a mutual fund house or even at your own to become a mutual fund distributor, right? If you have taken a certification as a research analyst, you can think of working with a research as a research analyst with an entity or an organization, right? So that is an area. So you have to decide what you want to do and accordingly choose a certification. So I'm taking another question by Sahil Sahu. He's asking that NISM provides any free courses. Yes, there are multiple free courses offered by NISM. Please refer to online.nism.ac.in for free e-learning courses. Apart from that, NISM also offers you a SEBI Investor Awareness Test, which is again a free certificate offered by NISM offered by SEBI through NISM. Somebody is asking how to access these courses. If you are talking about online courses, go to online.nism.ac.in, fill up the form and pay the required fees and obtain the access to the courses. One anonymous attendee is asking, sir, the upskilling programs you mentioned, will they help in resume? Yes, they will help a lot in not only building the resume, but also help build your skills. Nikhil is asking that whether the recording of this webinar will be available. Yes, webinar recording will be available through on our YouTube channel in future. We'll put up a clean after editing. We'll put up the recording in future. Right. So that's all for today. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending this webinar. We'll be coming up with the next webinar by end of August with another subject expert. You'll be able to will be able to handle your queries, right? So keep watching this space. We'll be solving more queries. If you have posted your queries on LinkedIn, we'll try to answer those queries by answering. And in case you have uh, more queries, you can send us a message on LinkedIn on an ISM page. We'll be trying to answer those queries as much as possible. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you, Preeti, Saili, and IT team for organizing this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for an insightful and engaging session. Thank you, all the participants. We appreciate your participation in today's webinar.